Elon Musk, one of the most successful people ever, obviously is a hard worker. So I've been asked to watch this YouTube short video of a compilation of Elon Musk and his approach to work, and then give you my comments as the guy who's the take breaks to work better guy. So let's see how this goes.
If you're starting a company, you need to work super hard and then just work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in 80 to 100 hour weeks every week. I go to sleep, I wake up, I work, go to sleep, wake up, work, do that 7 days a week. I'll have to do that for a while. No choice. If you're starting a company.
Okay. If you're starting a company, you need to work like hell. I agree with that. You do need to work like hell. I said this a few times, if you haven't heard. I'm pretty anti-hustle culture. And when I say pretty, I'm like super anti-hustle culture. I don't think it's a healthy approach to life. But I don't disagree with them that we should work faster. I just disagree with their approach. And the science that I reference in my content and my book, Take Breaks, Work Better, all of that stuff supports my disagreement. So you do have to work like hell, but there's a good way, a healthy way to do that. Then he talks about, you got to work 80-hour, 100-hour weeks. I simply disagree with that. In May 2021, on Saturday Night Live, Elon Musk mentioned that he has Asperger's syndrome, which I guess is really a spectrum. It's on the autistic spectrum. And he made a joke that he must be the first person with Asperger to host Saturday Night Live. I don't think it's a good idea for us to compare ourselves to the most successful autistic person who has probably ever lived. I'm not a doctor, so I have some loved ones that are autistic, but I don't think I have it. If I do, I'm certainly not going to self-diagnose myself with it. In fact, if you look back at the end of this video, what exactly does he say? This was interesting to me.
Do that 7 days a week. I'll have to do that.
So he's saying, I wake up, I go to work, I sleep, I go to work, I sleep. I'll do that. I have to do that for a while.
No choice.
No choice. I mean, what does that mean, no choice? Is that an element of how his autism and Asperger is showing up in his life? No one can argue with his success, and I'm certainly not going to argue with his success. I do think there might be something to say about the whole work-life harmony element. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm sure people might give me comments of I'm being insensitive. I'm not trying to be insensitive here, but my guess is, this is just a guess, again, not to be offensive, that autistic people experience happiness in a different way than at least the science that I've looked at, which I believe has normally included people in their studies that are not autistic. So I'm not going to speak to that. All I can say is, as someone who's, I don't think autistic, I don't think I am autistic, and the clients I've worked with, I don't think they are on the spectrum. Happiness needs to include elements of life outside of work. Is more fulfilling when it's shared with other people. And the only way to share it with other people is to spend time with other people. As a father, as much as I make fun of my children and how annoying they can be, I love them dearly. I enjoy spending time with them. I don't know how much time he spends with his kids. If you're working 80 to 100 hours a week, I can tell you when I was doing that, I wasn't spending very much time with my kids. And it took a toll on me. Yeah, not going to argue with his success. I'm going to go out on a limb and say most people don't need to be as successful as him to have actual happiness. And so if you agree with that, then we're on the same page. During the workday, take breaks and limit your workday. Don't work 80 to 100-hour weeks. I'm not saying that's never going to happen. I do believe in, the biblical principle of if your ox is in the mire, then you need to get the ox out. So in my philosophy of taking breaks and working better, at no point have I ever said, never ever put in extra hours. It may be required of you, but if you do have to do that, then you follow it up with a more restorative recovery period, which could involve taking multiple days off. Depending on how long a period your intensity had to be, the recovery break should still reflect that. So those are my thoughts. I have nowhere near the level of business success that Elon Musk has, but I do believe my life is more fulfilling for me. And that's really all that matters. I've defined success in a way that works for me. I'm not defining success based on hustle culture standards, which is purely based on how much money you make and your ego and status in life. I did not set out to sacrifice my happiness on the altar of productivity. And so while he has more success in some elements, I believe I'm more successful than him in others, the ones that matter to me. And I think it's okay if, as people, I think it's okay that you can redefine success for you that works for you, instead of going off of the very limited definition of success that hustle culture has ingrained in so many elements of our life. So there you go. Take breaks, work better.